There is no thing where is not fully understood by scientists yet. Whereas this topic unrealized since we are twins, anyone who did use whether a similar at the same at the first glance. That's why we chose this topic. The relevance of the study is that the appearance of twins has become more frequent around the world. Twins are an element of genetic miracle, whether for example mere identical spread birth similarities and complexity of twins are something that scientists have marveled over for generations. One of the not-so-known facts about identical twins is that the rates of telling them apart. The first one is for the fingertips, that these are unique to every individual person, and makes no exception. Another one is the look into their nose. About 1/4 of all identical twins develop as mirror images of each other. One might be right-handed while the other one is left-handed. Their hair all will curl in opposite directions, and they may have matching birthmarks on the opposite side of their bodies. Twins are becoming a much more common thing in the 21st century. Between 1980 and 2003, the birth rate of twins went up by 75%. While twin births have become more prevalent, identical twin birth rates have remained constant across the globe. Various factors, including mass, age, height, activities such as smoking, and whether she inherited any twin gene, may be the cause of varying twin birth rates. Some women are genetically predisposed to high population. As a result, some regions are well known for high twin birth rates. Nigeria has by far the highest rate of twins than anywhere else. There is specifically one town in southwest Nigeria called Igbora. The amount of twins there is around 5 to 100. Conversely, China has a low rate of twins with only 1 in 300 births being twins. According to a study published in the scientific journal, twins intentionally begin to interact with one another at around 46 in the womb. They learn to know for comfort and being extra gentle around areas like the eyes. As stated by the Journal Institute of German Linguistics, twins speak in language known as cryptophasia. The word has its roots from the crypto meaning secret and phasia meaning speech. Language is made of inaudible words and onomatopoeic expressions. It is estimated nearly 50% of twins have private language, but it disappears as they grow older and learn other languages. As we already mentioned, another peculiarity as a shared among twins is excellent perception. It's a collective term for hypotetical mental abilities. All these abilities are based on the idea that human beings can perceive things go beyond scope of bodily senses. All of these abilities, for example, in the first experiment, one twin, the sender, was asked to pick a card of a group of cards and try to transmit the image to his twin telepathically. The receiving twin was then asked to pick a card. The results indicated the receiving twin accurately picked the card about 50% of the time. In the second experiment, a resuscitation picks the actual card. This time, however, a receiving twin accurately picks the card on about 25% of the time. The scientists believe the initial 50% accuracy rate was based on a personal preference rather than telepathic ability. The 25% accuracy rate during half the test supported theory. Now we're moving to the next part of our project, and we're going to tell you urban facts and myth about twins. Interracial couples have distinct twins with different colored skin, but this phenomenon is not seen only in interracial couples. Couples of the same color who have mixed neutral parents have also been found to have twins with different skin tones. One week in the other, this term as the vanishing twin syndrome, where one of the babies did not suffer early in the pregnancy. The embryo is absorbed by your body or that of the baby's body. This happens quite often because statistically 1 in 8 pregnancies started as twin pregnancy. Only 1 in 70 result in the birth of twins. The incidence of twins being left-handed is higher at 21%. An analysis of 19 different studies on left-handed in twins had shown that 15% of identical and 27% of non-identical twins were left-handed. 204. This is the combined age of Inaku and Wilhelmina, the British twin sisters. They been born before the beginning of the First World War. In ancient times and in today's world, there are plenty of twins who have come to front and been able to make the mark in history. Jacob and Esau are the first twins to have been born. Esau was born with great strength, and Jacob was born with great intelligence. After Jacob tricked his brother into giving up his birthright, he and his mother then deceived his stepfather Lee with blessing to Jacob instead of Esau. Jane and Barbara Bush, they were born to the former president of the United States, George Bush. They are the first twins to ever live in the White House. Both the sisters form the most famous twins in the U.S. Twins often appear in mythology in many cultures. In mythology, there are often cast as two halves of the same whole, sharing a bond deeper than that of ordinary siblings, who are seen as twin rivals. One of the twin brothers is usually associated with everything good and useful, whereas the other one with everything bad and hooligan, and the case that they symbolize the balanced good and evil natures. Apollo Artemis is the son and daughter of Luke and Zeus. Apollo masters a silver bow and teaches medicine and healing. Artemis is his sister, who is the goddess of all things, including hunting. Throughout history, there have been a lot of family twins, and some were in Hollywood. Romy Sarah Malik has identical twin brother Sami Malik. Sami isn't in the entertainment industry and instead works as a chef. Easily one of the most recognizable dudes around, Dylan and Cole Sprouse by the end of 2000 were the richest teenage twins in the world. Another famous set of twins is Scarlett Johansson and her paternal brother Hunter. While Scarlett developed a career in acting, her brother focused more on career in politics. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are definitely one of the most prominent known today. The two, as exhibit young things to become famous, have usually been hired as actresses at the age of 6 months. James and Laura Felt are best known for their roles as a red-headed shaman with the brothers from the medical series. Here you can see the pictures of the twins of our gymnasium. There are 1,500 students and 10 twins in our gymnasium number 8. Also, there is an interesting fact. 6 of them are studying in 4th grade, which means that at the particular point when the twins were born, the birth rate for twins heightened. We have compiled special questions based on myth about twins and carry out a survey. The questions are: do you often quarrel? Do interests and tastes differ? Do you fall ill at the same time? Are anyone of you flat-handed? Can you feel each other's thoughts? Do you similarly undergo separated? Did you have a language in your childhood that can gestures, facial expressions, noise only you can understand? Is there a leader among you? Have you had twins in your generation? Do you have the same daily routine? This is an interview recorded with one in our gymnasium. Here is a table with the results of the study. The aim of the research was to scrutinize differences and similarities of the twins.
Теперь возвращайтесь на этот слайд.
Great. Is a table of the results of the study. Что с тобой? Here is a table of the results of the study. The aim of the research was to scrutinize differences and similarities of the twins. With the help of our investigation, we can say that twins, two individual people who don't have the same preference, liking, and shared connections, go beyond that of ordinary siblings. After study of the answers, some of these were authenticated. 70% of the cases, twins spoke in a language known as cryptophasia. In 100% there was a leader. In 80% they had fights and arguments. And in 60% they had twins in a generation. And the other ones were proved wrong. Twins are more likely to be left-handed and they don't experience separation like something painful. Thank you for your attention.